yoginis. So another back bend in Yin Yoga is called seal pose. This one is a bit more challenging for the lower back. So if you found that you were quite challenged in Sphinx pose, you may want to stay there, or do Sphinx pose with adding blocks underneath your arms, okay, or bricks or a bolster, so that, or bending the knees. So those are ways to make Sphinx pose more challenging if you're finding regular Sphinx easy, but you're not quite ready for seal pose. But for those of you who are quite comfortable with compression in the lower back, or if you have a flexible back, then moving on to seal pose. Again, the goal of this pose, or the target area, is to feel that compression in the lower back, so the dull ache of the bones being squeezed together. So we don't want to feel anything sharp, stabbing, searing, electrical, or tingly, but we do want that dull ache of the bones being squeezed together. And this is very therapeutic for not only the vertebrae in your spine, but also for the discs. When we gently squeeze those discs, then they stay spongy and fresh. Okay? If we don't ever squeeze them, then they can degenerate. So coming in the same way that you do Sphinx pose, and then turning your hands out and straightening your arms. Now, depending on your proportions, right, how long your arms are, and also how flexible your back is, you may walk your hands further back or further forward here in order to find sort of your sweet spot. So just coming to a spot where you feel compression in the lower back to an amount that is tolerable. And again, I'm setting the timer for 5 minutes, but if you're new to Yin, you may want to try 2 or 3 minutes at a time. And you'd probably also want to be fairly comfortable with Sphinx pose before you decided to come up higher. Finding a place again to focus your awareness, keeping the chin gently drawing in a little bit so you're not stressing up the neck, and let your eyes soften and close. Really draw your focus into your lower back, either just watching the compression there with your mind like you would a gentle, it's a gentle curious attention like you would a science experiment, okay? Or maybe sending your breath to those areas, or you can just sort of focus on your breath. Use your breath as a way to get a mini meditation while you're here. And slowly bring yourself down. Take your time. Really allow yourself the chance to notice that rebound effect. And you can rest your forehead on your hands. Now, if you are going to do another back bend, you could move into a second back bend from here. If you're finished with your back bend practice for today, you can just bring your hands under your shoulders again, pushing yourself back. And resting in child or hero's pose. Again, you could also stack your hands if you found this too much, right? To come right back into this rounded shape, you could lift your head a bit by stacking it on your hands. And just walking yourself out of the pose. Okay, so seal pose, stronger back bend than Sphinx pose. So you'd want to be quite comfortable in Sphinx pose, maybe even with some props underneath your arms or bending the legs probably before you dive into seal pose. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to like the video and share it with your friends. If you haven't yet already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want longer videos, more in-depth practices, and videos that I only share with my email list, then take a moment to jump on over to my website at nickdanu.com and opt in for the email list. Thank you. Namaste.